Okay, ready. Tonight on Greg's Grunts, the Stig, the Grig wears a hat. I wear a hat. James wears a hat. Also, it's 5.56 AKs, so those are cool, right? Hello, welcome to Greg's Grunts. Today we're talking about an interesting topic. A lot of you guys who are shooters shoot a lot of ARs, right? Really makes sense in the US. Even if you live in a banned state, you can probably build an AR and shoot it. And ARs are great. They're very accurate rifles. They're very reliable. They're super customizable. You know, somebody wants to show me their AR build. I really don't care. I really don't care about your AR build unless it's like something really cool and retro or something like that. You got the new M-Lock Geisley rail. I don't care, dude. It's really not that interesting to me. What's interesting to me are other guns that are not ARs, to shoot anyway, and to collect, of course. I got into AKs a long time ago, not only because they were inexpensive, but the ammo was really cheap. You could find 5.45 and 7.62 ammo for not a whole lot of money. This was, about 15 years ago. I started getting into it. You could find ammo, or you could find the ammo, you could find the magazines. All of it was really cheap. Even like surplus furniture and stuff, man, it could be had for nothing, like pennies on the dollar compared to what it is now. Fast forward to 2025. We're here in 2025. It's beautiful Alpenfleisch season in the mountains here, the mountains of Indiana. Beautiful hills of northern Indiana. Where was that alchemy made? Was it Fort Wayne?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was Fort Wayne.
My home city.
Yeah, anyway. So, if you guys are into AKs and shooting AKs, you guys probably own some 7.62 AKs, right? Those are awesome. But back in the day, there wasn't a piston system for those. Adjustable gas blocks required a gunsmith to put on. So if you had an overgas 7.62 AK, they were fun to shoot, but they weren't like recoilless deletus, if you know what I mean. So I got into 5.45. At the time, it was pretty cheap. I bought myself an Arsenal SLR 104, and I still have it. And I have a couple other 5.45 guns, but here in 2025, thank you Ukraine and Russia and the United States and everybody being dickheads, we don't have any 5.45 ammo that's cheap and available anymore. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with the 5.56 AK. So the 5.56 AK is the natural progression of the AK nowadays, and they are becoming more and more popular. Back in the day, they were called the Gay K because it's in 5.56. Why would you buy a 5.56 AK when there's 5.45? But now there's no more 5.45. So a 5.56 AK is very appealing. We have a couple of examples, some of which you might not even consider an AK, but we can go on down the line here and talk about each one of them. They're all unique, and luckily they all use proprietary magazines. So that's one of the real benefits of 5.56 AKs is they all use their own magazine. So that's super convenient. All right, so going on down the line here, starting off we have the Swiss AK. This is the SIG 553. It is arguably not even an AK, but it is really cool, and they are essentially AKs on the inside, so that's neat. Down the line we have my Sega AK-102, which is a Sega conversion that was done by M13 Industries. I was going to make a joke about this being a PSA AK-102, but it's not. Then you have the one of the military 5.56 AKs. Some people call it the NATO AK, and this is the Polish Beryl. Very nice shooting rifle. Takes its own Polish magazines, and it's got this wacky rail thing on here that goes over the top cover. Moving down the line, we have one of many Galils that I own. This is a short ARM, basically, built from an SAR kit, but it is a Galil. It takes Galil mags, it takes AK trigger groups. It's a Galil. Down the line, we have the Norinco Type 84S, which is a pre-ban 5.56 AKs that once again uses its own magazine, but has some interchangeability with other 5.56 AKs. And then finally we have the venerable FNC. This is another pre-ban, and despite being Venom Snake's rifle in MGS5, it's also an AK on the inside. So that's kind of, you might say that it's another NATO AK. It's not really. It doesn't take Rock and Lock magazines or anything like that, but some people might consider it kind of an AK variant, an AK derivative. It's got an AK bolt, and it's very, very much AK on the inside. So those are my selections of 5.56 AKs. You notice, with the exception of this rifle and maybe even this rifle, none of them are really like commercial options right now. So none of these are commercially really like affordable or available, which kind of sucks. And that's sort of the that's the 5.56 AK conundrum, is that there aren't really any like off-the-shelf really good ones, in my opinion. Except that may be changing soon, because Meridian is coming out with an AK-101. But I'll see it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it, basically. At the end of each segment, we're going to be giving the guns to the Stig, or excuse me, the Grig, and he's going to do a really cool USPSA stage. Also, we're adding a long-range segment at the end of the program, so you can see how they do at 200 yards. All right, feel free to debate me in the comments about this, but I think these are very much AK-like. They use their own, this is a Swiss-made SIG 553P, and it uses its own magazine. It is Rock and Lock, and if I pop it apart, you will notice that it has an AK bolt on the inside. In case you don't believe me, that is an AK bolt, and it connects to a piston up here. Actually, you can see the ass end of it, so it functions like a long stroke piston. I can't pull it out because of the massive suppressor, but pretty much an AK on the inside. And yeah. All right, we're back together. The Swiss wanted an AK derivative, I think because it gets really cold in the mountains, and they wanted a kind of a frost-proof Rock and Lock magazine, and long stroke pistons tend to do better in the extreme cold, so that's what they went with. On the outside, it's got very AR-like controls. It's got an ambi safety here that's right, in a pretty convenient location. It's got a pretty AK-style charging handle. It's also got a last round bolt hold open, which is very AR-like. And it's got the cool folding winter trigger. So you can use that with giant winter gloves if you want to. And it's got a folding stock. That's another thing that's kind of a it's kind of a big advantage of the AK family, is that You can fold the stock on them, and on this particular gun, it gets really small. It's got a 9-inch barrel. Without the can, you know, you can fit that into a really small case or something. So that's pretty neat. I like these guns a lot. I own several of them. You've seen them on the channel before, and you'll see them some more because they're really a blast to shoot, and everybody wonders what it is on the range and or is jealous.
Rig ready. Stand by.
Okay, ready.
Stand by.
5.53 is extremely smooth shooting, especially with that heavy ass can on there, and with the red dot. It's just perfect for this kind of thing, just blasting stuff. It's got the 4-position gas block, so it has no recoil basically. It's pretty cool.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
I hope you enjoy the wonderful fall weather here in the Appalachian Mountains. It's a beautiful rainy day. And this is my Norinco Type 84S. This is kind of a quintessential export Chinese gun from the 80s. It was brought in before the 1989 import ban, and it's an underfolder, which is kind of cool. Again, folding stock is a big AK thing. And Norinco, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, Norinco's just a brand. China has like probably 10 or 15 AK factories in China, and it really depends on which factory made your AK, whether it's good or not. But this is a very high quality gun. In general, the pre-ban Chinese guns in the US are pretty high quality, and luckily this one takes magazines that are not this proprietary weirdo Chinese magazine. If this gun only took these magazines, that would kind of suck, but it takes Circle 10s and Bulgarians and other mags. Shut up. So luckily this gun takes the Bulgarian, or excuse me, this is a Polish Beryl mag. Fits right in. Takes the new production Bulgarian mags, the commercial Bulgarians. Goes in, locks in fine. So if you have one of these, well, it doesn't come out super easy, but just as I say that, come on, buddy, come on out of there. There we go. And it also takes Circle 10s, which is pretty neat. So this gun, if you have one of these, it takes other magazines. It's not just the weird and very expensive Chinese steel magazines that it takes. So that's a cool thing. Other than that, I'm pretty much just going to leave it as a stock wood and steel gun.
Is the grig ready?
Yeah.
Stand by.
Type 84 doesn't have a piston or an adjustable piston in it, and lighting wasn't the greatest, so the iron sights were kind of just getting a little bit muddy. It's not the worst gun to shoot, but certainly not the fastest either. Man, those sights suck ass. Terrible. All right, up next we have the AK-102, which, like I have said, is actually a Sega conversion. If you take a look at these markings here, this came in as a Sega 223 Sporter. So it's a Russian receiver, it's a Russian trunnion, it's a Russian bolt, it's a Russian bolt carrier. I even got the Russian folding rear trunnion, and it is an Izmash rear trunnion. And I got the Russian furniture and a this is actually an American booster and a Bulgarian front side gas block. So it's like 90% Russian. If anybody mentions 922R in the comments, you can shove that right up your ass because it doesn't apply to end users. 922R applies to manufacturers, which I'm not. So y'all can debate that in the comments, but it doesn't apply to me. So I have this mostly Russian. It even has this Chinese, fake Chinese optic that I did a video on, the OKP. So it kind of looks the part. Ooh, you even got a slug on there. Look at that. Mr. Slug likes the 102 conversion. I'll leave him on there. She's a.
Is it a Russian slug or a Bulgarian slug?
I think he's Russian. Hard to tell. He's not wearing a little hat though. Anyway. Yeah, so this was painstaking to source all the parts for, and even to source the original rifle, but to get a mostly Russian gun in 2025 is very difficult and somewhat expensive. And you also have to find somebody to put it together who's not a complete jackass. So I went to M13 Industries, and they're my homies, and they do really good work, and they put this together, and it's really one of those dream come true rifles that I never thought I would own. So it's an SBR, it's a carbine, it's got the folding stock, which doubles as a chair. I've actually seen soldiers sit on that. Doesn't seem very comfortable, but you can use it as a chair. That's the 102. It's Russian.
Does it do the Slavic squat?
The Slav squat? We can give it to the Grig, and maybe you can do a Slav squat with it.
Ready. Grig ready.
Yeah.
Stand by.
102, of course, has factory gas, but it's actually pretty smooth shooting. It's not bad at all. The OKP is actually, it's perfect for this kind of thing, up close and personal. And overall, very nice shooting gun. That one was nicer to shoot than the Beryl. So next up we have the Galil family of rifles, and this might even include a Valmet if you've got a Valmet. That's a pretty rare and expensive rifle nowadays, but in my mind the Galil, it's still my favorite 5.56 AK to shoot, and especially this one. This one has adjustable gas. It's got a more ergonomic safety. The Galil Aces are just like, man, they're so nice. The older Galils have that like wood and steel AK look, but they're quite heavy, and they shoot really well for me. And going back to other AKs like the Chinese AK that you just saw, or the AK-102, it really is kind of a downgrade. Say what you want to about the Israelis, but they did actually improve the AK in several ways. And of course, it takes its own magazines. But I have a whole video on Galils, so go check that out. to see my full opinion on these rifles, but suffice to say, they're great. I love them. I love them. Fun fact, the optics mount is loose on this gun. I know it at this point, but I don't know it for the long range, so here we go.
Bye.
Really very, very smooth shooting rifle, very heavy. This one does have adjustable gas and it's suppressed. Optics mount is loose, and of course that's kind of the foible of OG Galil's is optic mounting it's always a kludge. There's no great optic mounting solution. Alright, it's a loose dot, so definitely nailed the no-shoot a few times. Look how loose the dot is. Woo! Yeah, keep that in mind for when I'm shooting the long range with this rifle. Okay, so next up we have the Beryl. The Beryl is, like I said earlier, the NATO AK. It's what Poland used and still uses now as their standard issue service rifle. They liked the Tantal and they liked previous AKs that they used under communism. And so when they joined NATO, they just developed a 5.56 AK. And that's where the Beryl came from. The Beryl makes a number of strange choices. Like I was saying earlier, one of the strengths of the AK platform is that you can fold the stock. The Beryl doesn't have a folding stock. It has an adjustable kind of like AR sort of. It's not an AR stock, but it's kind of like an AR stock. It's actually a lot shittier than an AR stock, and I have this Pod Arms cheek riser on it to make it usable. But it doesn't have a folding stock at all. It's got this kludgy accessory rail that slots into the rear sight block here and uses this rear addition with this big old frickin' lever to attach. And then it has a super duper high optic mount so that you, I guess, can theoretically still use your irons. But they also used EOTechs on them. So an EOTech is designed for an M4, which makes it super high anyway, and then they put it on this really super high optics rail. So it's like high as giraffe pussy, as they say. And you need some kind of a cheek, at least I need some kind of a cheek thing to actually use it. These are imported by Arms of America. Those are the people who import them. I think they have exclusive imports on the FB Ratum stuff. And it's got a bigger safety. It's got a slightly bigger pistol grip. It's got a quad rail, but the quad rail doesn't go all the way out. It's got an 18-inch barrel. It's just kind of... it's a swing and a miss for me. It's a nice rifle. I'm glad I own it, but if I had to design a 5.56 AK up from the ground up, I would definitely put a folding stock on it. I would put a lower rail on it, and I'd put a front rail that went all the way to the front sight post. So I'm not trying to trash the Beryl. They're very well made rifles, but they're just odd. They're odd rifles. I don't hate this one. The mini Beryl is supposed to be very good too. That has, I think, like an 8-inch barrel, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing like expressly wrong with it, but if I had to choose one, I would not choose this one.
Well, you did choose that one.
But I did. I chose to buy it with money. Yes, that doesn't mean it's my favorite, though. A lot of people get confused about that. They're like, oh, you don't like that gun? You should give it to me. Like, fuck you. Consider fucking yourself.
Stand by.
Beryl is definitely what I would call combat gassed. It's super jumpy at close range, even though it's kind of long and heavy. It's got an 18-inch barrel. It is not very good at up close shooting.
2005.
Man, that thing recoils like a son of a bitch. So finally we have the FNC, which is, again, not a rifle that most people have access to, in the United States anyway. Believe it or not, most of these in the US are machine guns. They were converted to full auto before 1986, and that left precious few semi-auto guns on the civilian market, so the semi-auto guns are very expensive. Not as expensive as the machine guns, but they're pretty pricey. But if you really like them, or really like the FNC, they're around, they're available, and man, they are really nice. I really love my FNC. This has a slug on it too. Look at that. He's really small. Look how small he is.
He's a baby.
It's a Belgian slug.
Free slug with every purchase.
Free slug with every 5.56 AK. For those of you who don't believe me that it's an AK on the inside, just quickly take it apart here. Charging handle comes out here. I said, come on. There we go. And wow. Look at that. Look at that bolt. It is spring-loaded, but that looks like an AK bolt to me, and it's long stroke, and it's got a folding stock. So you tell me. Like has been noted before, these guns tend to do better than direct impingement in lots and lots of full auto, which I'm not shooting lots and lots of full auto. Some people are. But they also do well in like super duper cold weather environments like the Arctic, or even if it's just really cold out and you've got kind of an undergassed AR, your AK is probably going to do a little bit better in terms of reliability. So that's where the FNC comes into play, because it essentially has AR ergonomics. Well, I fucked that up. It has AR ergonomics with an AK operating system. So you can have your cake and eat it too. That's why the Swedish military, there we go. The Swedish military uses these as the AK-5. It even says AK in the frickin' name, so sue me. Assault killer.
Assault killer 5.
So there's your FNC. It's got normal and adverse on the gas. It's another kind of like reliability thing. It just puts more gas into the system with adverse. It is extremely soft shooting. It's even softer than most DI guns that I've shot, and there's just not a lot to go wrong on these things, especially if there's no optic. And they look really cool. And they were in heat. Sadly, the Grig hit the hard liquor a little bit early that day and completely forgot to shoot the FNC on the track. We're here again on a separate day because, well, we got rained out last time. Still talking about 5.56 AKs. This segment's brought to you by Mountain Dew Baja Blast, by the way. The elephant in the room about 5.56 AKs is the fact that, well, that is the elephant in the room. They all take different magazines. Half of those went on the damn floor, but I've got a huge container that's just full of 5.56 AK mags. They're all different. Some of them work with other guns, some of them don't. In general, you have kind of like an AK-74 kind of pattern, and you have the AKM AK-47 magwell pattern, which is pretty much the Galil. The Galil mags use an AK-47 pattern magwell, but that's really the big thing. I'm also not mentioning one rifle, and that's the Zastava M90. That, in my opinion, is probably the best off-the-shelf 5.56 AK that is like commercially available. I forgot to mention that rifle. I don't own one of those, but they do seem to be pretty nice. They have adjustable gas from the factory, and I think they can use some other mags, like maybe the Bulgarian mags, but I don't know because I don't own one. So if you want to buy a brand new one, maybe go that route, but yeah.
You ready? Stick ready.
Yep.
Stand by. Oh, 30, it was 30-11.
30-11.
We're rolling.
Okay, give me a beep.
Is the stick ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
You tell where I'm hitting?
Not really. There you go. I zoomed in and you got it.
What?
I started zooming in when you were missing. Grip ready.
Yeah.
Stand by. Okay.
Like I said, I never zeroed this thing, really.
Is slightly high left. I would hold low right on target. Hit.
I have no chance of hitting those small ones.
Hit. Or it was the dirt right above it, but it was real close. Low. Low. Hold top of the target if you can.
That's it.
97, 97.
Maybe I should zero the sights.
You zoom in digitally.
Yeah.
All right. Grig ready.
Yeah.
Stand by.
Woo! Am I hitting it?
No. Low right.
That's not good.
Hold top left shoulder. Hit.
Shit. That's way off.
Center right. Hit.
Super duper off target.
If you aim for that top one, I might be able to see some splash. Low, one target length low. Right under it. Right next to it. Same spot next to it. Holds a sight post right. Hit. Look at that spotting.
That's it.
Some
One
beautiful
target left.
spotting. 98.4.
Yeah, let's shit. Okay.
All right, stick ready.
Yeah.
Stand by. Hit. 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 Maybe not, but I called it. It moved.
Where am I?
Which one are you shooting at?
The small one on the right?
You're just, that one I called a hit. It was like, well, the first one was right above it, like a target above it, and then the second one it wiggled, so it hit something. Hit. Hit.
Nice.
4277.
The old OKP, Chinese OKP.
Yeah, you might have whiffed it on that first one. It definitely wobbled. You might have hit the target stand. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let me make sure this is on. All right. That was just me turning it on.
Oh.
You ready? All right. Greg ready.
Yeah.
Stand by. Hit. 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 Just a little high. Hit. 28-17.
Best time yet. Hello there. As you all know, the Patriots have raised the prices on everything to stimulate the war economy. This means that the cost of production has really gone up. If you feel like supporting the channel, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, share the video, and if you want to be really good, click the link below for the Patreon.